Alright, so here in this video, I'm going to be showing a few combos with the Constellar cards. And this first combo was the original OTK that I had came up with. Obviously, you see the new card is in it, but it ran the same way. Basically, getting out two Constellars to go into Pleiades. Bounce one, your turn. If you have two more to join them, you'll go into the OTK. But this is 2020, so I was just showcasing the combo that I did before, and this was when Constellars first came out. There weren't decks that swarmed field, so it was basically summon one set, and then you had um decks that just came out that started swarming, like the Constellars, Evil Swarms, and stuff like that, getting out at least 2 to 3 monsters. But on average, you fought decks that only summoned once. So basically, the combo is getting out two of them. One is Klaus. Am I saying it right? Hold on. This one. Klaus. This is just new support as long as you have one special summon himself and he searches out. So yeah, I was just searching out. But basically, you can still do it in 2021 depending on who you're playing against and timing it right. So he played Magical Meltdown. I knew what to bounce. I said activate Decree. So the whole deck is spells. I'm still waiting on some cards to do the deck profile, but I wanted to showcase the combos ahead of time. The next one will be Dragoon Dragoon Constellar Lockdown. And then the last one is just showcasing. No, the second one is just a Sheraton 1 card combo for Dragoon. That's what I'm gonna show next. And then playing around with this spell card called Legacy of the Duelist. It's a continuous spell that when you play it, each player can only set 1 card that turn. Let me just show you, since this video finished anyways. But that was the OTK. Legacy. I'll go back to that video to like explain it because I know I went elsewhere. But in this combo, we're showcasing Legacy of the Duelist. So when your monster declares an attack, you can negate your own attack and then pop one of their set spell or trap cards. One of their spell or trap cards. So this is also good if you want to play the other card, the Utopia Double or Nothing, because you can just attack and then activate this card to negate your own attack without using his overlays. And then since it negated his attack, you pop their back card, and since they only could set 1 card, you're good, and then go for Double or Nothing. The other thing that I love about this card is you can skip your draw phrase and get back a monster you instead from your graveyard to your hand. So if you already have monsters in your graveyard that you can just go off with and another card in your hand to do the second Constellar play, Pleiades or whatever you want, you can just get the monster back from the graveyard instead of drawing. And if you have star charts, you can automatically do that. But also, if you play this going first, they can only set 1 card. And if they special summon a monster from the extra deck, it cannot attack the turn it first was special summoned. So no matter what card they bring it up from the extra deck, it cannot attack on the first turn it is summoned. Basically, this is forcing them to play like the old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Where Battle City. Basically, Battle City rules where they special summon any monster from the extra deck, it cannot attack. And then they can only set 1 spell or trap card. So you'll see. So I'll play it first because I only have 1 card to set anyways. And then I just go into him, the new card, to just search out and go from there. And then I think he's playing Evil Swarms. Yeah. So he goes off. Summons the second one. Basically, it's like these are the lights and these are the dark versions of this one, of the Constellars. So like they're rivals. It's just funny this matchup. But he has to end his turn because he special summoned from the extra deck because of Legacy. So I get to draw another one, and then I use Sheraton's effect to just each turn just draw. So I'm summoning Star Charge, so I could just +2 just from special summoning. Now my monster can't attack either. It goes for both of you. Neither one of you, whoever special summon monsters from the extra deck, cannot attack. So I just like it because if I play it and they can't get rid of it, they have to set only one card. If they're playing a control deck that sets like 5, they can only set one card, and then on the end turn, if you have Pallades, you could just bounce that one card, and then you can go off. Now the backdoor, like I said, is the monster can attack the first turn is special summon from the extra deck, but you could just swarm the field if you wanted to, or just bounce it and then you can special summon. So if you summon Pallades, you could just bounce this back and you're good. So like you saw, I negated my attack. I negated his attack with Legacy to pop his back row. Then I attack with him, triggering his effect to power him up by battle. And then I went into Dragoon. But first, I'm trying to get off this. But I couldn't go into Dragoon anyways because I drew Red Fusion. So I just went another play. But I'm playtesting this and probably going to use it at 1. Because if this deck thins, and you can search out their draw power, that's continuous. It's a fun deck. I love it. It plays with the zodiac signs, and you can still win. And you're supposed to be having fun playing Yu-Gi-Oh. So I'm just making Constellars viable as much as I can. It's still in the testing phases. And I haven't gotten the real cards yet. I have most of the deck. I'm missing like 2-3 cards. So I'm trying to get them before I make the deck list. I'm missing another Sheraton. Because before, when you played Sheraton, it was you had Honest in hand, summon Sheraton, search out something you need for next turn, and then end your turn. They'll attack Sheraton, you Honest them, and then you go basically from there. But it was back when Yu-Gi-Oh was much slower. And I guess more fun because you could both play, interact. And it's so easy. Like any deck, like I'm not saying featuring Dragoon because it's like Dragoon is a staple card. It's like Mirror Force is a staple card back when Yu-Gi-Oh first came out. You don't say this is a Blue Eyes deck featuring Mirror Force. It's just a staple card. And right now, Dragoon is a staple card because of Verte. You can splash in any deck. Alright, so let me go back to the other deck first, and then I'll show the Sheraton, like, why he's a 1-card Dragoon. If you don't know. So like I said, you want to go into Pallades if you can, just to bounce, and then if you have the spell card I just showed you, Legacy of the Duelist, you play that, and then they can't, if they have only, let's say, trap cards, they can only set 1. And then you'll use Pallades to bounce it. And then if you have a second recurring play, you can OTK depending on what you draw. And of course, if there's no interruption from their hand traps, if they have any. So like I said, let's say you did have Legacy of the Duelist, they can only set 1 card. And then when they pass their turn, if they're not summoning monsters or anything, you just bounce it. And this is the OTK I did every time. It was so consistent when it first came out. So like I said, you want to get 2 more, and the second one has to be Chaos, because Pallades will rank up, and then he will go into the 2 level 5s. I mean the 1 level 5 Fortress. So then you want to go into Fortress after you use his effect to level them up. Then go into M7. Now that M7 is on the field, you can draw if you have Star Chart, so you draw another card like I did. But then you activating Shark's effect to attack twice on M7. M7 can attack twice, which will put him at 5,400 damage, which means you need 26. He's short by 2. But then you bring out the free Gaia Dragon, which can go on any 5 or higher monster for free. And that's exactly 8,000 damage, and that's the OTK I had came up with when it first came out. That was the basic back then OTK. Now it's like you have Dragoon and you could do other stuff. And I'm gonna show you the shirts in one card, basically. Dragoon. So it goes with the new support. You summon Shuriken. She played on Max Seed. I wanted to play it on here on Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega Beta. Because I just love it. But I had to play the computer because Shuriken cannot be played by TCG rules because it's not officially out yet. We have the sneak peek, but it's not officially out yet, so it's not usable in TCG. And then if I click over to OCG, Dragoon is banned, so I can't use Dragoon. So I was like, either way, I was stuck. But I could play the computer with no rules. So he plussed hard off of Max Seed. And I also showcase why I like playing XYZ Burst, because this is an XYZ deck. Dragoon is just a staple card right now for almost any deck, like I said. And as you can see, you got the protection from the Dragoon. It was easy to bring him out, and then you just go into your Constellar plays. Now, I didn't want to rank up because I already have a game. So I brought him back so I could just search, just draw a card, go into, just in case, Omega, and then go up to 7. And since 7 is rank 7, I can play Burst, which destroys all set cards. It's a Regeki and a Harpy Feather Duster for their side of the field for all their set cards. And then I just went for game. Oh, and with Stoic Challenge, it powers the monster up by 600 for each of its overlays. So that's how I got him juiced up to 45. 5,000 real big B-sticks. And then if you you put Gaia Charger on top of him, he'll be even powered up further. And then Gaia Charger pierces. So he will pierce. And normally if they have a zero defense monster, when I pierce, it's like basically game, because Stoic Challenge not only powers it up and it pierces, it does double the battle damage. So I used to use this a lot also in the combination, depending on what I drew. If they set one card and let's say it was a Spear Reaper, what I basically did was summon any two like you saw, go up to M7, then go into Gaia Charger, and then play Stoic Challenge. Gaia Charger is over 4,000 attack, and it pierces attack Spear Reaper for game, because then the damage is doubled. Spear Reaper only has 300 defense. That's over 8,000 damage, and that was another OTK with just 2 Constellars going into the Exceeds. There's way more stuff you can do. I'm gonna try to get the replays down and show you the way more better stuff you can do. And once I get the cards in to complete my deck, I'll definitely be doing a profile. Definitely. So, what do you think? Good or nah?